Hello sexy people of the internet and welcome back to your favorite family-friendly film photography channel, where we only talk about Jesus and Leicas. It was the last days of November, and since I live in Japan I wanted to take some epic autumn foliage photos. So I went to Yamanashi Prefecture, where all the real photographers take serious bangers during this time of the year. As of now, I am mainly shooting film, and it's for a series of reasons. Being inspired by the work of so many talented artists, such as Joel Stanford, by the work of incredible YouTubers that make me want to shoot more, such as the God Lord Grainy Days that is live
24 hours a day, every day, even at night, here in my house.
Hello Jason. I've encountered a problem in this trip. I've shot 90% of the time with my film camera and just a few photos with my digital camera, my Sony a7rV. And here's the problem. I've taken my best shots with the digital camera. And I was so pissed about this because I'm investing so much time and effort and energy into film, and I love the expensive tool that I use all the time, my Leica MP. But fuck, it doesn't look good. You're about to see the midlife crisis of an Italian guy living in Japan pretending to be a film photographer. I'm about to take a ropeway that will take me up right in the middle of the mountains. And the colors are just unbelievable. Taking autumn photos in Japan is a must, as the warm tones of the autumn leaves in contrast with the blue skies create a picturesque image, and it's quite a stunning view. As I was taking this really old ropeway, I was praying some pagan gods to spare my life in exchange for some Portra 800. On the top of the mountain, I was blessed with a beautiful view of Mount Fuji, so I started firing shots with both the Leica and the Sony. Both of these photos are great. I like the digital photo more, but you tell me what you think. I have such a hard time to create a piece of work that I am proud of with film. And I'm not just saying about one single shot. It's more telling a story with film, with multiple photos. At the bottom of the ropeway I found a pond with carps, and here I shot one of the best, if not the best photo of the whole trip. With some simple edits, I pulled out beautiful colors that remind me of painting, and the expression of the carp is spot on. I took photos with both cameras, but the clear winner is the Sony. Don't get me wrong, the film photos are okay, but they can't compete with this banger of a shot. Alright, the hike is over. I'm now driving back towards Kofu, and then I will go to Lake Kawaguchi, which is the most Instagrammed place in Japan in the month of November, I guess. I jumped on my car and drove for about an hour, scouting for interesting locations. During my road trips, I don't plan 100% of the spots I will visit. Most of the time, I know my final destination, but I go with the flow. If I find something interesting along the way, I stop. And this was one of those cases. What's the name of this place? Motosu. Okay, I am in Lake Motosu, which I have no freaking idea what it is. However, this place is really cool. There are 3 words to define this photo: Japan as fuck. It was an epic moment. The weather conditions were changing rapidly, the sun rays were interrupted by frost winds and some snow. This was the peak of autumn foliage photography for me, capturing the red leaves in contrast with the blue of the lake, and Mount Fuji in the background was breathtaking. It was time to get to Lake Kawaguchi. I had only an hour of sunlight left, and I wanted to make the most out of it. The drive along the lakeside was breathtaking. I love driving alone, exploring new places and listening to music. I'm 90% sure that Bon Iver was playing at that moment. He's one of my go-to artists for solo drives. I arrived at the lakeshore, ready to take my best photo of the trip during sunset. But instead I was surrounded by flocks of tourists. I felt disgusted. How did they dare to come to a popular tourist attraction? I had the exclusive rights to that. Anyway, jokes aside, it wasn't a good moment for photography. I decided to have a hot soup, sleep early and call it a day. The next morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. Sunrise was scheduled for 6, and if the weather conditions were still as good as the previous day, I was sure to get a clean shot of Mount Fuji. Luckily, there were no tourists taking selfies at this time. And there it was, the majestic Mount Fuji. I found the perfect spot along the lakeside. Now it was time to get a great photo of the mountain. I fired some handheld shots with the Leica at 1/8 of a second if I remember correctly. These photos are fine, but to get the best out of this scene, I should have mounted the camera on a tripod and used the shutter release cable, which of course I forgot at home. So I decided to focus on the Sony to take the perfect shot, and man, I got a great one. This is one of my best photos of 2024. The pale colors, the balance in the photo, everything works. I was proud of myself, though a bit less for not taking that photo I wanted with the Leica. Nevertheless, I knew I did a good job.
That was something. Good morning. I don't know what I was expecting from this trip. I thought maybe it was a bit more adventurous or something. Some of the stuff that I like, you know, but, well, I mean, this place is 2 hours drive from Tokyo. There's buses coming in an hour, and it's gonna be packed soon. So, anyway, I'm happy that I did it, because, yeah, this is one of the things you have to do once in your life, at least if you live in Japan. Makes sense to do it. Okay, to the next spot. I have a few places saved for the day, for the road trip, and let's get going.
Time for the road again. If there's something that excites me, it's waking up early in the morning with a full day of driving and photos ahead. I quickly stopped by a convenience store on the road and took this photo with the Leica. It resembles the essence of that trip, the road, the mountains, and yeah, the gas station. What a cool shot. After a few minutes of ride, I stopped by another super touristic spot called Shimo Yoshida. However, there were no tourists around, and that made the whole experience much more enjoyable.
What a glorious morning.
After driving for roughly 20 minutes, I arrived nearby Yamanaka Lake, where I found a boat rental company that was out of service for the winter season, which gave the area a nostalgic vibe. Driving gives me a sense of freedom. It's a similar sensation to running long distances. It feels as if you're thinking about a lot of stuff and nothing at the same time. That day, I was reflecting on my photography journey. Before starting this channel, I had countless road trips, but now that I am sharing these adventures, it makes me finally feel fulfilled. I was driving to a nearby gorge to take the last photos of the trip, but spoiler alert, I didn't take any memorable photos. I drove for 2 hours and hiked for 3, and the whole time I was thinking how much I was enjoying using my Leica, but still felt new to that system. I love shooting film. For me, it's like driving. For a second, you disconnect from everything and everyone. You're not scrolling on a screen or looking at an LCD. It's just you and the world in front of you, with only a rangefinder in between. So, the final verdict. After seeing all the photos I've taken in 2 days, I think there's still a lot of work to do. And well, if you made it until here, consider to stick around for future videos and road trips. If you have any suggestions, drop a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. Yeah, I'm still a better photographer when I use a digital camera. But this is exciting. I can document the journey here on YouTube. And who knows, maybe with consistency, in a couple of years I can become the film photographer I've always wanted to be. And I'm gonna live in the US, and Grainy Days is gonna be my best friend. We're gonna drive our bikes in a dusty road during sunset, holding hands and taking pictures all together.